And you're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. And we've got Ryan Ford back with yet another game for you. Last game in the Ryan Ford vlog. It is DKC3. We're going to be doing True Ending, and there is a potential upgrade to all stages if we get $30 of donations coming in during this run. So without further ado, take it away, Ryan.
All right, sounds good. All right, hello everybody. Back again for the third time, Ryan Ford. Oh, I still have the timer for the previous run. 1 second. Yeah, so I'll get this run started and then talk about the category a bit. So 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, so True Ending. For this category, so we're allowed to use a in-game cheat to get 75 Krem coins. So I'm going to be doing some seemingly random movement in this first level, and it's all intended to make the cheat happen. So I have to make sure not to grab those 2 bananas that are in front of this door, and I have to keep going in and out of the door while collecting some stuff. And with that, the True Ending basically is to beat K Rule, like the second fight, so K Rule 2. Which you normally get by beating all of the Lost World levels, which normally you would need to get all the Krem coins by doing all the bonuses and all the boss fights. But with that 75 Krem coin cheat, then you can just access each of them, since they cost 15 each. So this game, I'm sure a lot of y'all know what this game is, and yeah, so the basic movement is doing rolling and jumping. So rolling is faster than running, but then normally you get a dead roll at the end of your roll. So before that happens, we cancel the roll with a jump. Here I'm doing what's called a beetle clash to get an invisible object, which it's pretty broken. It moves the warp barrel and corrupts its properties to eject you out of the level. It only works in version 1.1 in the game though. So, in this category and in any percent, we generally use 1.1. And 1.0 has its own set of tricks, so it's used in a couple other categories, like, 102%, and Warpless as well. But yeah, I tried a trick there called Luck Jaw, so you can normally jump into that warp barrel without doing that team throw, which I think saves about 2 seconds if you get it. But it's actually not easy, because if you touch the wall while you're rolling, you end up falling straight down and you're not able to go horizontal. So you have to kind of zigzag around the wall. So unfortunately I missed that wrong work, with I think it loses about 10 seconds if you fail it. It saves 4 seconds over not going for it. But yeah. Not too bad, not too bad. For whatever reason, I swapped Kongs at the goal by muscle memory because of different categories, but that's fine, just swap back. So Crow is the major instance of RNG in this run. So after these first 2 hits, then he's gonna bonk the nest, and the 50% chance to get a fake egg or a real egg, and you can get an indefinite amount of fakes in the last 2 cycles, which I got 0, so that's quite nice. Oh, also, yeah, I forgot to plug real quick. So if you want to see me do the True Ending, all stages category instead, yeah, if you can get $30 in before this run ends, then yeah, I can do the remaining levels after beating the game. So normally in a run, it would have to watch the credits for about 1 minute, and then reset so that the game saves, and then you would do the remaining levels after True Ending. But yeah, I guess if we don't reach the goal, then just cut it off when I beat K Rule 2. Oh shoot. Yeah, so that's kind of tight to get through that tire, but played it risky. So another thing is that Dixie's run speed is slower than Diddy's. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have tried to skip those Bs after I took damage, because yeah, since she runs a little bit slower, then I didn't make it over the tire. which happened, so took a death kind of early in the level, so it's not too bad. But yeah, that's what it is. So there's also so when you roll through enemies, you also gain a lot of speed rolling through them. So like all those spinies that I rolled through, you gain a ton, but you definitely got to be careful not to like roll into pits or something. Here, I'm gonna throw this barrel to stall myself just a little bit, so that I can actually reach that first tire that I jumped on instead of falling into the spikes, because you can just go too fast and end up like potentially killing yourself. So me trying what's called a scrolly scroll over here. Oh wow, I was slow. Wow, it's rare that I'm like too slow with Diddy. Usually like too fast if I fail it. I guess I overcompensated. It's not too big of a time loss, so it so when you shoot out of that barrel and land on the tire before hitting the ground, it makes the camera freak out for whatever reason and scroll really fast to the left or to the right, and so you can get pushed to the end. I was kind of jumping around to like stall myself a little bit to let the tires spawn as well. And in this level, I did what's called a big boy, or a team throw super jump. So you can horizontally throw your partner, so Diddy or Dixie, and then if you... Oh, where am I going? If you let go of the jump button and then re-grab the button, then you get a second jump as your partner comes back to you. And with that, I was able to spawn the warp barrel and go underneath. This level was just pretty simple, like straightforward, like going into the warp barrel and finishing it. Same will be coming for this level. It's like a pretty hidden warp. Right here, pretty much. Just team throw over the steam where the camera moved over to, and yeah, just get a normal warp barrel. And doing what's called goal swapping at the end of some of the levels by swapping the Kongs if they have an airborne state from being shot out of a barrel. So when I got shot out of the warp barrel, it gave this airborne state. So when I swapped, it triggers the goal while swapping your Kong order without having to jump extra times. So I did another one there because with boss fights, and anytime that you would get a fanfare, you always want to be Dixie because her guitar solo is faster than Diddy's rap by it's like almost 3.5 seconds. So I think it was 3.3 was recently the post I saw like a week ago. This level though, Dixie also shines from this lava fly over here. So you can just barely get over the lava, and gonna bait Cleaver here to try and stab so that these hooks will spawn in the middle of the level. If you hit them too early, these hooks won't spawn, and that's a soft lock. So then you have to take a death to get out of there, which would lose a lot of time, like over 40 seconds, I think. So yeah, pretty simple fight. Also was trying to get Cleaver as close as I can to the cannonball as I'm picking it up, just to optimize a little bit. Could have gone a little closer, but I didn't want to risk taking a hit and losing time to save a few frames. And yeah, so since Diddy's run speed's faster than Dixie's, generally in horizontal levels, we're almost always trying to be Diddy. Unless if Dixie has a use for her hovering or anything like that. So I've got this animal buddy, Ramby. So the community's pretty split between Heck Ramby and Love Ramby. Which, I'm definitely a Ramby hater, because I don't know, I just end up losing runs to him sometimes. Because of his massive hitbox and messing up charges occasionally. But he is fast. So yeah, team throw it into that barrel, even though it's technically slower. It gives an airborne state when you do the team throw. And, or sorry, a super jump state when you do that team throw. So I took damage, and it gave Dixie a little bit of a higher jump when I got control of her. And I was able to hover over the swamp, called Swamp Fly. which skips an auto scroller with that arrow barrel underneath, saving a few seconds. So Glimmer's Galleon, this level is pretty much just swimming, but it's pretty hard to optimize because if you like bonk into walls, you lose like pretty much all your speed. So it's very easy to kind of lose like upwards of 4 seconds in a lot of spots. And generally you want to avoid taking damage, of course. Yeah, like right there, if you could notice that I ran there too. Like I hit a wall and just pretty much like completely stopped. So yeah, there's some people that have crazy ILs by, you know, just cleanly cutting corners and not hitting walls as well. And yeah, aside from that, there's not too much to talk about. Like, you can cut underneath like some of these enemies, or just go over them like I did. And oh, when you start the level, you want to be you usually want to have one Kong up until past the midway barrel, but to save time from lag from having 2 Kongs. But I just for safety, I didn't want to die to a single mistake, basically. And yeah, another goal swap there. Alternatively, you could swap underwater because it's faster than swapping on land if you're not doing the goal swap. And yeah, with some rolling and jumping, yeah, you can cut under like some of the reeds, which looks really cool as well. And there's a kind of new wrong warp for this level with the cutlass properties. So this guy with the swords, he for whatever reason when he's raising his swords, gives the same properties as like what normally wrong warps you out of the level. So if you take damage while shooting out of that arrow barrel as he's raising his swords up, then can wrong warp you. Saves like 25 seconds over doing the level warpless. That level is actually fun, like warpless in my opinion too, but like the latter half. But yeah, unfortunately we skip it all in this category. So yeah, now we've got Ratley, Snake Buddy. So yeah, Rattle Battle. This level can be pretty difficult. General advice is just to kind of look at what a top runner does and copy them, because so Ratley moves faster when he's in the air, but you don't want to always be jumping at max height at like every part, because then you'll end up just getting hit by enemies. So there's a bit of a routing for like how long to hold the buttons. Oh jeez, got off-screen damage. So I'll play it safe here. Oh, I thought I was gonna play it safe here, but so I was trying to bounce off that second guy and then bounce off of that cannon that was shooting downwards, but I missed the second guy. So came to a full stop just to try to not die and start back at the mid barrel. So that would have been significantly worse. So yeah, Black Ice Battles, oh wow, this is a rough start. It's actually one of my favorite Lost World stages. Well, I'm gonna get a lot of lag because that clobber was able to follow me down. So normally, yeah, so you can't see below you, so you normally just do all the movement with Diddy and just fall. Fall and like weave past like bees and stuff. That beginning part I think looks really cool normally, but I took damage early, so didn't really get to show the proper strat. And again, if you roll into a wall, then because you lose all your speed, or you just end up falling straight down and you can't like move forward past the wall, so it yeah, that's where I messed up when I ended up taking damage. Snake won in one spot at a random. Yeah, so setting up for another wrong warp, so Slime Climb. This one's like very important to not miss in a run, because it loses a lot of time. If you do, like 40 seconds or so. So getting an invisible object, I also was loading things in a certain order to have the right IDs to get the wrong warp to work. And I'm glad it worked, because sometimes in runs I occasionally fail it. So yeah, this song probably reminds a lot of y'all of your childhood, so press 1 if you had a childhood. So yeah, everyone knows this song. I probably don't even have to talk about it. And yeah, so some optimizations with these barrel shots. So if a barrel is facing in the direction that you want to go already, then you have a 3-frame window to shoot yourself before the barrel turns. So I actually hit all the quick shots too, so that was actually really good. It's like not uncommon to miss like 1 or 2, but and then end up going the wrong way for a little bit. So gonna be trying for vine clip here. Nice. So I did a big boy again, and a big boy, and you can have just enough height that you can throw your you can throw Dixie through the vine during your starting animation. So it skips the Maze of Shame, and also skips doing the backup strats that would skip the Maze of Shame as well. So yeah, I think it saves like 15 seconds or something like that. Yeah, so Cudgel is a pretty snoozer boss. It's like a minute and a half long too. The slight optimization is to do quick hits by letting him fall. So with Dixie, because how she like whips her hair back before she throws the barrel, then by letting him fall near her and using the back of your hitbox to hit him early, instead of running far away from him and then throwing it at him. So saves time over the travel time of like throwing the barrel. But yeah, if you miss though, then you have to repeat that cycle, so it can lose like upwards of 10 seconds if you end up messing it up on any cycle. Which yeah, for a long time I didn't go for it at all, because I would like often mess up at least one of them, but now I just kind of risk it. I'm like, well, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I try not to get too attached to runs in that way. Yo, Aquatic Ambience is another one. So to try and plug with donations, if people want to send donation messages about their favorite Donkey Kong Country music from the, well, I was gonna say from the trilogy, but if you want to go even further beyond, if you have like songs you like more from the other games, then yeah, here's an invitation for that. But yeah, for this level, so for the first half, Dixie shines because of being able to jump over the honey, because you get stuck on the honey that's on the ground normally. It is actually faster to do Diddy strats by a little bit, like swapping and then yeah, just Diddy moving faster naturally. Oh, what am I doing? Whoops. Alright, so yeah, here's another scrolly scroll, like the one I did in Jungle Jinx briefly, but then I messed it up at the end that time. But this one was good. So I took a hit on purpose to one, swap my Kong order, but additionally when you take damage, it stops the screen from scrolling really fast. Yeah, another goal swap there. Which I think that airborne state for the goal swap is triggered by after you take damage, then when you touch the DK barrel that's in the air to get Diddy back. I think it gives you the airborne state. As long as you don't stop moving when running. Or if you get a dead roll, I think it kills it too. So yeah, got one of, wait, is this 3? I guess one of 4 auto scrollers technically. Or it might be one of 3 if we don't get to that all stages incentive. So it's all up to y'all in chat. If you want to see another maybe 15 minutes of Donkey. But yeah, the small optimizations you can do here is you can jump off of these carts early when jumping onto a next one, and you can also jump over those flitters, the dragonflies, to save about half a second. Aside from that, there's like not really much you can do. Even just like jumping early from one cart to another saves like a few frames. That's like very small time saves. Gotta make sure not to fall off there because there's a bonus over there, so that would also waste a lot of time. And then yeah, just hit the checkmark barrels to open the doors, and don't get the X barrels. Though I will be trying for the swag balloon. There it is. So the community is split on that too for whether to get the swag balloon or to say no to swag. Because yeah, you lose a Kong if you miss it. So I only really do it in marathons. Because I missed it in a run once and I was like, alright, never again. So there's another important wrong warp. Bramble Scramble. So this one's like kind of difficult. Uh-oh. Alright, should be good. Yeah. So I had to load things in a certain order yet again. So I had to make sure that that hook, the first hook when I was climbing up the ropes, I had to make sure that that hook that the crook threw was still on screen before coming back to him. At the same as I loaded the invincibility barrel, otherwise the wrong warp won't work. And then you have to spawn the beetle after that, so it has to be in like that specific order. And then to get the invisible object, for whatever reason, that slope in the brambles, when you land on it, it causes Dixie to turn around for whatever reason. So if you let go and re-grab the Y button during those turnaround frames, it'll cause her to flash the beetle and get an invisible object. No idea why that happens. There's some other stages it gets used in other categories, but not in this one. So yeah, Rickety Race, another auto-scroller, but it's like really fast, so it can be easy to miss. So the second place guy, the yellow dude that I killed way back, it's very easy to bounce off him like into a pit. So you also have to be careful not to mess up your movement. Alright, so next up is Mudhole Marsh. This is one of my favorite levels, but it's also like a lot of runners will probably have it like in their in their top 5 hardest stages as well. So it's very easy to die like everywhere because there's like pits everywhere. The other thing, oh god, okay, I'm gonna play this part safe. Okay, now I'm back on track. Now I'm not back on track. Okay, now I'm back on track. Yeah, it's very easy to get tripped up on your movement if you make a mistake as well. So I played that extra safe, but that part, the Eagle Pit, looks really cool if you... dang. If you can get through it, like, rolling cleanly through everything. Alright, so I needed Diddy back. So... Wow, that's my first time in a run that I've ever died going for that too. So I needed to jump over that bonus with the cannonball to try and set up for another wrong warp. But yeah, I guess I hit the very edge and just like slid off the moment I landed. Oh, whoops. Because yeah, this game has a pretty good buffer system, so normally I buffer jumps where I know that I need to jump immediately, but maybe I just hit like the very, very corner and didn't, that it didn't count. Okay, cool. So, there you go. So another Beetle Clash. So if you're doing Beetle Clashes with Diddy, it's a 6-frame window to get the clash. If you do it with Dixie though, it's like, I'm not even sure how long, might be like half a second. It's like a very huge window to get the clashes with Dixie. But the Diddy strat is faster than the Dixie strat for that wrong warp by, I think, 5 seconds, so... I actually never, like, really learned the Dixie strat. Or, like, the natural Dixie strat. I learned the backup for if you take damage, failing the clash with Diddy, though, but yeah. So now I'm gonna be trying for another invisible object through, I I don't know what this one is like named for getting this invis. I don't know if it's like clobber rolling. Is these guys named Clobber? Oh, what? Okay, this one's gonna fail. Oh, this one's gonna... Yeah, for whatever reason, it took like 30 years for Dixie to like drop the TNT barrel, so I overshot where I was supposed to place it for that one. So how I corrupted the first barrel to shoot me really far, I was gonna do the same thing again with this one to skip pretty much this whole auto-scroller, so it saves like 20 seconds. Yeah, so instead I gotta go like this, and then damage boost like I normally would right here. Yeah, because if you don't load things properly on the screen or you unload something by accident, then it can screw up the IDs to get an invisible object. So yeah, I dropped the TNT barrel too far left unintentionally. Alright, so now I've got Ramby Rumble. So there's a couple strats you can do to skip this section to grab that hook. You can either do that big boy, or you can do a damage boost with a in the middle of a team throw, and it gives you a really high super jump to get on the hook. But I'm more comfortable with the big boy strat now, so even though technically it's harder. And yeah, so we've got Ramby now with the transformation barrel. Try for the death jump. Oh, I didn't get it. It's okay. Well, probably better that I didn't get it, because if you miss, then yeah, you're dead. Which is why I called the death jump. I wouldn't even know how to explain it without like visuals either. That's fine. So I did what's called a Ramby double jump there to jump over that barrel to save a small amount of time as well. And yeah, I wanted to enter this level with Dixie because since you can't swap during this fight, then again, want to end the fights with Dixie for her guitar solo. So yeah, there's specific movements to kind of optimize this fight a bit. So King Zing, he actually moves a lot slower in version 1.0. Though I'm playing on 1.1, so he's like fast. So the strats of how you move are different depending on the version you play. So if you play a lot of categories, it can be very easy to mix up strats and be in the wrong spot. Before he turned red, you can also, there's like one frame where you can hit him and end up getting a 2-cycle hit or 2-cycle kill. But I've never gotten it personally, so wouldn't have expected to get it there. Alright, so now we're on to World 5. I'm saying this right now because I gotta remind myself to, in this category, to go to the Lost World level, because in 102% you normally skip Fiery Furnace, and then come back later after beating K-Rool the first time. But in this category, because of the Creme Coin cheat, I have enough Creme Coins to do all of the Lost World levels without beating the game. I'm gonna grab that for safety. Though this level's pretty comfy in general. It's like a very nice breather after a lot of like intense tricks in World 4. And then yeah, the movement's like very like cozy, I find. It's fun to grind ILs on this level too, just because I don't know, I feel like it just flows really well. So yeah, able to get under that cloak, which is a little bit risky. You can also turn back to scroll him off screen and despawn him for safety. Loses a small amount of time over rolling under him and grabbing the rope under him. So Haunted Hall, yet another auto scroller. Might be the final one if we don't have that $30 incentive. So if y'all want to donate, type !donate. And yeah, it's definitely worth a really good cause. Of course, you want to help starving kids, right? And but yeah, so this level, so you can kind of there's like kind of a route for how to jump, because when you're jumping up slopes, it whoops, if you're jumping up or down slopes, it saves a bit of time off of a lot of steep slopes, not all of them though, because you kind of keep your speed at that point. So yeah, you can save like a second or two throughout the level. So yeah, jumping over that bee is really hard, so that's why I tensed up for a moment. So man, a lot of people get hit. So I'm playing on the Japanese version, so there's only 2 bees in total to jump over there. But there would be an extra bee in the if you're playing in on the US version. So for time, in terms of time, you can play on like either language, but yeah, there is that extra bee there. And Bramble, Scramble, and other categories near the end has a lot more enemies in the US version. Which again, if you do it move optimally, like it doesn't save or lose time for the version for that part either. It's just like harder a little bit. Alright, so what's this level? Gusty Glade. So there actually is a wrong warp that you can do with the beetle at the beginning of the level, but as far as I know, I think only like 3 runners have ever like done it in a run. And yeah, one of them had world record with it for a while until I think Void took back the world record during Christmas. So yeah, it saves like about 5 seconds, so it's like pretty big when you're playing at the top level. Alright, and was able to do what's called LZ swap. A Japanese player named LZ kind of set up that goal swap there. I don't know if he popularized it or invented the strat, but it is named after him. It's another like top 5 runner. Oh wow! So yeah, Hornet Hole is like probably one of the coolest looking levels. Unfortunately, I took damage there, so I gotta play this part slow and hopefully not die. Alright, cool. Oh! I actually just forgot there was a bee there. My mistake. Alright, so I wasted all that extra time too, trying to play it slow. But yeah, it happens, though. Yeah, so again, gonna try to go down this level. This one's fairly difficult when you're first learning it, but when you get used to it, it of course gets easier the more you practice it, but it's still pretty easy to make mistakes or slightly off your movement. Oh, wow. I started my hover too early. Which means I get to do a, wait, what? What am I doing? Yeah, so I get to do kind of a safe strat. Oh, well, I hovered a little too early, so I'm gonna waste a little more time, but should be fine still. Okay, now I'm back on track. So I'm gonna be trying to do a damage boost right at the end here to use my invincibility frames to fall past some of these bees. And then fall to the end. I'm trying to find secret areas in some of the auto-scrollers. I like the Haunted Hall one, how the first bonus is like on top of another bonus. So yeah, there's a wrong warp here. Okay, thank God it worked, because like, I don't know why in half the time in marathon runs, it just like, will just like not work for me for no reason, and then like randomly work eventually. And there's like no depth to it either, like just literally just shoot at a certain time and hold left or right and it'll wrong warp you out. But oh, almost died there. Attack lobber. So yeah, Webwoods. This level is pretty notorious for being difficult, especially casually. Yeah, like some months ago I saw a video, or maybe it's been about a year at this point. I saw a video a guy made about like worst video game level, or sorry, worst Donkey Kong level of all time. Set this because it's like slow, it's boring, one mistake is death. It's like pretty grueling. And then yeah, it's like easy to make mistakes because of how slow it is. But so I'm doing what's called instant platforms. By pressing R and L together, it I'm gonna play this part safe because I was a little far back. So I'm bypassing the cooldown for shooting a web platform and then forming the platform. Like what would happen if you try to double press the button. And yeah, with that, then you can like pretty much like barely stop moving like throughout the level, so you can get through it in like a minute, a bit over a minute. So yeah, now it's Creepy Crow. He's back, revenge, and more RNG. Okay, so that's bad luck there. So ideal pattern is middle, right, right, because the barrels can spawn either left, right, or middle. So want middle in the first phase and right on the other two. If I get left on this cycle, then it loses the most time in the fight. And I got left. Yeah, so team throwing to that hook to skip a little faster. In version 1.0, this boss also moves slower, so if you go too fast on that part, you can actually end up soft locking potentially. If you have only one Kong. Alright, got the right spawn here, but kinda did a safety strat though. So yet again, plug in for donations. Oh yeah, Feasel, do you know if we're close to the goal yet?
Alright, let me see. Yes, we have a $30 donation from Anonymous saying put this towards the DKC2 upgrade to all stages.
Yo, let's go.
Awesome. Goal met. And we have another donation. Gotta make my column a little bigger here. Oh, I can only see the beginning of it. I'm sorry. It's Abraham J. something, and it's cutting off the rest. I'll get that info and read this donation again later, but we do have a $20 donation from them saying, first time watching, looks cool, great campaign.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so doing this is like generally a run killer. When you're on pace, this is like the thing that's most likely to kill a run, called Arctic Zip. So yeah, the first time I was kind of off of my position just a little bit, and I got the zip, but I only zipped like halfway up the wall and fell out. Probably was like I definitely had a bad swap, so that was it. Hey, at least I got it second try though. So yeah, the community meme is how much does Arctic Zip save? But yeah, so optimally it saves about 15 seconds in most categories. Actually, I think in this one it might save only like 12. I could be wrong. Yeah, so Animal Antics. So this is the last Lost World level. So we're gonna be using pretty much it's like a gauntlet of using all of the animal buddies. I'm gonna grab the mid barrel for safety here. I actually did have a PB pace run like 3 weeks ago, like died because I died in the next section, and I also didn't get the mid barrel, so I lost like a minute and a half to the death. So it's funny because if I grabbed the mid barrel, even with that death, I probably would have PB'd that run, but it's fine. I got a better PB. I think like the next day. So, oops. All right, this could be a little dangerous. Yeah, if you try to do those instant web platforms too quickly, when you're moving, then you're still in like the original cooldown from shooting the web. So you do have to like either wait a tiny bit or have like very perfect movement. So I'm gonna slowly shoot these flitters. That's exactly how I that time that I lost like a minute and a half to dying was that I took a hit in pretty much the same way, missing the instant platform, and then I flew into one of those dragonflies by accident. So at least didn't have a repeat. So yeah, here doing a Ratley double jump. Kind of playing it safe though, since I have one Kong, and I'm a little paranoid about like input issues with the other runs going over estimate, to be honest. All right, so
Okay,
oh yeah.
go ahead. Oh, I got a correction. That donation is from Abraham J. Payne. That's a $20 donation, saying first time watching, looks cool, great campaign. Thanks very much, Abraham.
Abraham J. Wait, I forgot the last part of that name. J. Payne.
J. Payne.
Okay. So yeah, I'm on K Rule 2, which yeah, that's why it's pretty short. It's like a minute and 15 seconds compared to K Rule 1, which is like 2 minutes longer than this fight, basically. But this fight's like one really long cycle, basically. So definitely have to not make a mistake or at the end or die. Oh wait, so Feasel, if that was a $20 donation, so we didn't meet the goal then?
No, we did. The other one was $30.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Alright, thanks for clarifying that. So yeah, almost on this fight. So normally for true ending, time would be when this DK coin falls on top of me. Which would be right here. But since y'all donated to get me to do true ending as well, then gonna be continuing with the remaining levels. So we have to wait about a minute for when the final cutscene starts, where all the Kongs are gonna be like looking at a sunset, basically. When that cutscene comes up, then or when that end screen comes up, then the game actually saves. So if I reset right now, I wouldn't have a save file to be able to continue. So after this screen with the podium over here, which we actually do have some side categories for getting enough DK coins to outrank these characters. So there's a beat Link category, beat Yoshi, and beat Mario. Which beating Mario would be getting all the DK coins, and then beating Yoshi you need to get 30. Beating Link you need 20. So they're not main categories, but they're like some fun ones if you're already like experienced in running the game. Alright, so there's the reset. Alright, so yeah, continuing the rest of the levels. So yeah, if you've seen any percent runs, this will pretty much be the same as any percent, but yeah, so we actually have like a side category called all stages, because we have true endings, like a main category for the community, one of the 4 main categories. So yeah, then we have this extension for all stages. So usually when I grind true ending, I do like all stages, so hopefully to get 2 PBs in one run, kind of thing. Which for true ending, my PB is a 37:48. So yeah, it was like probably a bit under 4 minutes behind PB for that one. And then for all stages, my PB is I pretty recently got a 49. I forgot the exact number. I think it was 49:26 if I recall correctly. Because I PB by like a minute and a half. It was like 3 weeks ago, or maybe a month at this point. Time kind of just flies during the COVID era, so. So normally there's a trick called Ghetto B skip, which you can skip under that second B without stopping. which saves like 2 seconds, but I've lost some like really good pace runs to failing that skip, because then there's no DK barrels left, and the next wrong warp in the next level, you need both Kongs, so you have to revisit a level to get Diddy back if you fail that skip. So it loses like, I think around 12 seconds. So here's Castle Crush wrong warp. So yeah, this one's a massive time saver. This is like the final auto scroller of the run. So normally, this is the longest auto scroller out of like the whole DKC trilogy by a lot too. So the level's normally like more than 4.5 minutes long, but with that death warp to wrong warp, you save like over 4 minutes getting that. The old trick was called goal summon, where we use the invisible object yet again to warp yourself up to the goal, called the goal summon, which is like a minute slower than that new wrong warp. So that death warp is like one of the newer tricks pretty much implemented for, well, any percent and true ending, or sorry, any percent and all stages. So I did throw your girlfriend, so threw Dixie to get that invincibility barrel, so I had to make her cry. So if you have good movement, you can actually roll through all of these bees, but since I made 2 mistakes, then I figured I would probably take damage if I went fully in, so I just slowed down on purpose. So now I've got Chain Link Chamber. So there's another wrong warp that's especially at like mid-level. For mid-level runners, it's like pretty often a run killer. But even at the top, sometimes people mess it up. So yeah, you get the invisible object there by what's called clobber busting. And yeah, with that we move the bonus that was over to the right, the cannonball bonus that was over to the right, and you make it wrong warp you out of the level. That level's one of my favorites, like warpless as well, but yeah, unfortunately, we just wrong warp to skip the whole thing. So yeah, there I did what's called a true double jump. So I'm doing these short hop double jumps normally, so if you hold A to do Ratley's like super jump charge, and you tap the jump button, then he'll you have to like quickly tap it, then he gets like a glitchy jump state when he's charging his jump. And then true double jump, so when you're coming down from a jump and you're after you kind of hit the apex of your jump, then if you hold A and B together within a 3-frame window, then it gives you a like higher glitchy jump state, so you can get just enough height to get into the arrow barrel where the DK coin was. So I'm slowing down here because I flubbed my movement a few times, so I just didn't want to die. Since I already did a damage boost through some bees, so being careful. So yeah, it's up in 3. Pretty simple. And now I've got the hardest boss fight in the game coming up. Nah, I'm just kidding. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that my IL is tied with the world record and the tasks for this level. If I had the script for the timer, I could prove it. Okay, so in all seriousness, so this level, it's funny, in the on the wiki, the speedrun wiki, you have ratings for level difficulties. So this level is like 9 out of 10, but when you're on to earn, then it's like 20 out of 10. So I actually skipped out on a strat at the start where I despawned the cloak that was gonna throw a TNT barrel. So normally you can actually like roll and jump underneath him and like yeah, you can like roll and jump like to get underneath him, and it saves like I think like 0.8 seconds or something. But I don't know, I can like never do it properly in a run. Like I can get the jump, but then because you don't despawn that cloak, when you're climbing on all those ropes, then he's flying past you, and because of that he causes like a lot of lag. So I find I get like inputs eaten a lot, so it's like too hard for me. So I just do the despawn strat. So yeah, it took unintended damage twice, and also really got to be careful about those brambles because they got very janky hitboxes. Like some of the bramble hitboxes stick out way further than they look, so you can easily take damage. Oh yeah, cheating the race. So yeah, I race skipped. So you can do it without taking damage. You can like fly over the trigger that causes the race, but since I took damage, it actually made it easier to skip it. But I took that safety route to get that backup barrel, which was good because I took damage again, so it definitely paid off. So yeah, now I've got K Rule 1, so yeah, fight's like over 3 minutes long, so time will be coming up in, well, this is the third cycle, so some time has passed, so I don't know, maybe like 2.5-ish minutes. And yeah, not too much to say. It's kind of like a glorified cutscene, pretty much, glorified auto-scroller. So to optimize the fight a bit, you can throw these cannonballs into his blunderbuss when he starts sucking. You can throw it faster so that you don't see any dust. So call it dustless. So you can just crouch under all these except for the first and third shot. So yeah, I guess while of yeah, I guess since there's not too much to talk about, then I'll plug myself right now to not have to plug myself so much at the end. So yeah, if you enjoyed all those runs, yeah, I'm Ryan Ford. I hope y'all enjoyed, despite going over estimate for a couple of them. But yeah, if you want to shoot a follow, it's Ryan_Ford522 on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, definitely like keep the donations coming. Yet again, to repeat, it's definitely for a good cause. So yeah, if you'd like to help out or if you can afford to pitch in, then yeah, by all means. But yeah, also I was trying to get blue Diddy by team throwing and then getting hit by that blue smoke, but I threw it late. It's like not even hard to do at all, but it's kind of choked, I guess. So yeah, the blue smoke freezes you, and then you can mash your face buttons to get out of it. The red smoke makes you slow, so like on the ground and in the air, and then the purple smoke inverts your controls. So left and right get reversed, and then up and down get reversed, and vice versa. But yeah, if you get hit by the purple smoke early or the red smokes at all, then K. Rool will also wait 4 seconds before he starts the rest of his cycle, so it actually can lose time. So time is when the coin falls on me, and it's fine. Yeah, so yet again, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. And yeah, I guess since I plugged myself at the end, yeah, I'll pass it off to Feasel. I'm hoping more donations came through, but we'll see. And I'll catch y'all later. I'll see you in chat too.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Ryan. Everyone, make sure to follow this amazing runner. Thank you very much for this run.
Yo, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was great. Great to have you for our opening block. Okay, well, we appreciate all the donations that came in during that run. I'm glad we got that donation goal met. Coming up next in our schedule, we have Linkemeister who's going to be playing Super Metroid Ascent. And there is an incentive for that one as well. You got a bid war for Save Kill the Animals, of course, because it's a Super Metroid game. So Save Kill the Animals will need to be determined before the final boss is fought. So get your donations in, write your choice in the comments. There's also a Perler giveaway for this one. There's some Super Metroid Perlers. That's the prize giveaway for this. So any donation up to and including this next run will make you automatically entered for that. And so yeah, stick around, everybody. We'll be back.
During this crisis, millions of Americans are